memory of all the tremendous contribution that William Haswell Stevenson made to the city. I'm told that he was an industrialist and philanthropist who served as Sheriff Mayor and Lord Mayor and died in 1918. He was a staunch Conservative, so he'd be absolutely delighted that for the first time in 30 years we've actually got a Conservative on the City Council now. So I'm sure he would be smiling on that, as I understand he was a very staunch supporter of the party. One of the things that I was really gratified to learn about is that he was a great supporter of libraries. I'm a lover of libraries. Anybody who knows me knows that I grew up with libraries. I often tell people, they can't quite believe it, that I grew up in a house with no television. We didn't have television. So I just grew up to love libraries, and I'm a tremendous supporter of our local libraries around Benwell and Scotswood, because I just think they're so important to local people. So when I was doing a bit of research around that, I actually found out that amongst the many libraries that he supported and endowed was the one at Elswick. And the Elswick Library, which is now the building, I think, I'm conscious that I'm in the company of historians here who might sort of correcting me, but I think that the Elswick Library building, which is now the base for West End Women and Girls, was the first library in Newcastle. First one, yeah, it's a fabulous building. So that support for libraries, and he's also supported libraries in Heaton and Walker. The Walker Library is still there. So that support for libraries and the important part that libraries continue to play in our lives was something that really caught my imagination. It's absolutely brilliant. I was also looking for other connections around the district. Yesterday I went along to the AGM of a wonderful group called the St James Heritage Environment Group. My dear friend Judith Green, who I've got tremendous admiration for, she's a wonderful person, wonderful local historian. She runs this group, and we're just having a bit of a chat about things, and we were talking about historical buildings around, you know, I was saying how delighted I am that we are working to support and retain our historical buildings, and we're having a chat about the Bond Memorial Church that used to be on Adelaide Terrace, and it's now sadly one of the buildings that's disappeared. And I was actually chatting to or looking through some of Judith's not information as to why it was called the Bond Memorial Church. Do you know why it was called the Bond Memorial Church? Right, well, and you're wondering, well, what's that got to do with today? Well, it was called the Bond Memorial Church because the funding to buy that piece of land is very much connected with the Methodist sort of movement in the West End of Newcastle, was provided by Charlotte Bond. And Charlotte Bond was the sister-in-law of, so there we are. So that was just quite by chance when I was digging around that I actually found that, and I thought, gosh, I'm going along to this blue plaque, and there I found that connection. So, gosh, is that just me who knows that? Brilliant. I'm thrilled. So all I can say really is that, as I say, I'm just delighted to be here. It's my first blue plaque event. I'm part of the Historic England group, the HEAPS group, and we often look at how we can mark and remember people who have made a significant contribution to the city. So I'm delighted to be here today, and thank you very much for inviting me. And I don't know when we're going to do I don't know if you want to say a few words before what we do now.
That's right. Well, thank you so much indeed, and we're very honoured here at Throckley Hall to have been, to have received the commemoration and approved Major Lord Stevenson and have the plaque unveiled in his honour. I mean, to think of all the things that he did from this area for the benefit of the city, such as the Tyne Improvement Commission, really changing the face of Newcastle, often seen as though the father of the council in the old newspapers used to call him. A lot of reforms and improvements came from him, and he came from Throckley originally himself, grew up here at Throckley Hall, and his family continued to reside here for many years. And historical buildings, as you say, are so important to preserve and maintain. Over the past 2 years, when we took over the running of Throckley Hall, we've been trying to restore it as best we can, and I think we've got it to a state where hopefully it will be like stepping back in time, but retaining some modern parts of the era. And it very much echoes to the sense that just as the reforms that Sir Stevenson implemented in the northeast echo to the future as well, will be implemented in the house as this. And I'd be very happy to welcome everybody down for a little look inside and some further photographs if you wish. Absolutely. Yes, we're so pleased. And thank you so much to the council for making it all possible, of course, as well.
Well, we're delighted to do so. And perhaps we can do a joint unveiling. Shall we do a joint unveiling? So how does this work? We have to lift it. Okay then. So tell us, are we ready for the photo one underneath? Yes? Okay, let's go. There we go.
Very good.